Welcome back to Tom's Garage again, boys and girls. Good morning. Today, I figured why not make another video. Pow, it's another Toro 22 recycler. Yay! Gah, look, I just noticed that. That ain't good. She said, Tom, it cuts out and dies when I'm trying to cut grass. I said, well, quit cutting grass. Now, we're going to figure this one out, see what's going on with it. She said, I put a new spark plug in it. Okay, I believe you. Well, I'm missing a screw right there. Had to fix that for her. Ooh, let's check out her blade. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Gonna have a new blade. It's worn out. Missing the cover. That belt sure is tight. Somebody's gonna miss a toenail in there, boy. I bet I got another cover for that laying around here somewhere. Probably one there on that shelf over there somewhere. Or over there in the shed of shame. I bet we can find one. All right. Let's figure out why she says it runs poorly and cuts off. Go ahead and get this cover off and we'll check her air filter. Let's see here. First thing we're going to do is check her oil. That's number one rule. Check the Earl. This one has got the 6.75 190cc Quantum Auto Choke, which is probably one of my favorite engines with the auto choke. It's a little dirty, but it's full. Auto choke, which is good. I like it a lot. Let's get this cover off here. We've got one screw holding it on. We'll have to find another screw to put in it, which is all right, we will. Can't have a missing screw. We'll get this full string taken off here. Stick that through yonder. All right. Now let's see what kind of shape her. Here. Oh, well, look there. There's something else looks funky. They're all return spring. That's supposed to be hooked right here. Not over here. Well, there's part of your problem. Well, we don't have a whole lot of travel in the choke either. What's going on there? That feels kind of tight. Huh. Let's crank this thing up and see what it's doing. Let's pull this air filter off. Let's check it first. Ew. Yeah, it's pretty crusty. There's your problem. You got a Honda air filter in it. Yeah, it says Honda right there. That's all right. We'll give it another air filter. I put Briggs and Stratton filters in Hondas all the time. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. All right, let's just crank this thing up and see what it's running. Yeah, let's simulate what it's doing. Let's put this string back up here first. Put it back in here first. Okay. Lower it down, take it to the door, and crank it up. Crank it up. Crank it up. All right. Grab my little spring loaded clamp. Hold that tail and everything. Well, what is going on here? Look at that drive cable. That's why the belt was pulled so tight. I wonder if they done that because it wasn't pulling good. But it's not supposed to be like that. Crank it up, that thing don't take off. I bet it is. Good Lord. Well, something's wrong with that choke. It ain't opening. Let's fix that spring right there. That's weird. Well, this thing here is just a gift that keeps on giving. That's what it is. Somebody's playing a joke on me, ain't they? Which one of you is it? Who put that lady up to this? So here, take us over to Tom. It'll be a funny joke. Let him just find all kinds of stuff wrong with it. All right, first thing let's do is fix that spring and see why that choke ain't opening. I bet it's messed up inside of there. I bet that end of this is not inside that little Thermo Muffler or Thermo Actuator. When it gets hot, it'll push that open, which is not letting it. When you crank this thing up cold, it'll automatically choke, and the wind off the flywheel will throw that open. But that Thermo Actuator, when you cut it off, will hold that open. So you just cut it off to run and get a drink of water and come back, and it's still hot, the choke will be open, so it'll crank. That's what that's for. All right, let's see. Let's find us another spring. Let's see. We got something in here. There's one right there. The throttle return spring, but that's for an EX engine. I can tell by that gasket right there. And there's a bunch of gaskets in here. I don't see one for a. I don't see a return spring for a Quantum. Let's grab another box. That's what we need. A little miscellaneous BNS. All right. All right. Plenty of oil seals. Ah, there's a little bag of them right there. There's another bag of them. All right. The Quantum style throttle return springs has that little rounded. I'll show you when I get the bag open. I just love trying to open these little bags. See, it's got that little curly Q pigtail if it'll hold still on the end of it. All right. Lay that right there so don't lose it. Stick this box back to the shelf. Stick it on the shelf. All right, here's the nose pliers. Yeah, they got it hooked around the frame right there. And all you do is grab that little pigtail right there. Yeah, look how it's all bent out. I'll say the spring is sprung. That's why we need a new spring. You can see how it's sprung, what the other one's supposed to look like. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. It's just all sprung. This one's sprung. Hook us around that little loop right there. Let me get a little flashlight. Y'all can see what I'm doing better. All right. You just take it and hook it around it and it'll click on there. Just like that. And then you take your needly nose, grab a hold of it there. Hook it around there like that. Boing, 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 boing. Okay. And the way you adjust the RPMs on this one is you take a little thing, a little tool. I'll show you. Take your little tool. You can get that. You can raise and lower the RPMs by bending this tab forward and backwards. Bend it forward, put more tension on that spring, and the RPMs will raise. Because all you're doing is going against that governor linkage right there, and you're kind of bringing it up a little bit. We're going to make sure we're right at 3,100 RPMs. Okay. Let's crank it back up. Well, no, I don't want to crank it back up because something's going on with that choke. I bet you. Let's grab some tools. We're going to take that. We're going to take this cover and everything off. Yep. And see what's going on in here. What is going on with this? Why isn't that moving? Then we're going to make sure this intake manifold is still tight against the head. Take your 3/8 bolt out. Take your 3 little 5/16 headed bolts. Don't lose your screw. I cut my fingernails the other day and I can't reach in there and grab a screw. Okay, fuel tank is loose. Should be. And don't lose your little spacer down here at the bottom of this fuel tank. Don't lose that. Because that's what this shoulder bolt at the bottom of the fuel tank goes through. Okay. And we'll take this dipstick screw out right here. That little shoulder screw. It's just like the other 3 that holds this onto this. There, there, and there. Then we can take this and spin this around. I don't like taking that tube off because some, you know, you can pull this thing off with that still hooked to that. I just don't like doing that because you make a mess with the oil. Hey-yaw. Nope, we gotta take them 4 screws out first. Okay, we got 2 in the front. The 2 in the front are just a smidgen longer than the 2 in the back. If you put these 2 in the back, you'll bottom them out and break the head off. Ask me how I know. We got 2 straight down. See, this is the one in the back and this is the one in the front. A little bit longer, about I don't know, I guess I'd say about an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 3/16. 3 millimeters longer. I don't know. Hey-yaw. No, it's in there. See, the wind off this flywheel pushes that open. Oh, look at there. What in the world? Some kind of screw. That's why the choke ain't opening. It's hitting. All right, which one of you is it playing a joke on me? This is ridiculous. I bet it's a joke. Somebody's playing a joke on me. Well, I'm glad I got it on film. See, look at that. It's not letting the choke open. Just barely. That thing should be perfectly open. And it's about, it's not even halfway open. It's not even 1/3 of the way open. It's barely open. Somebody's playing a joke on me. Look at there. They just screwed in right up against that intake. Okay. That's why the choke wasn't opening. Somebody is playing a joke. I don't think the intake manifold's hurt. I mean, it's plastic. That's why I was worried about it. You run that screw in there like that, and crack that intake. I have never seen that before. And you can see where they drilled the hole. Maybe this is a self, oh, that's what it is. This was a self-drilling screw. And the tip broke off. Where did the tip of it go? It probably hit this manifold right here. I need to get a better look at that manifold. Look at there. It does. It is damaged. Golly. And there's the tip of it right there of the screw. And there's a hole in that manifold. You can see it. That's where the tip of that's a piece of rock or something right there. But the tip of that screw is in that intake manifold. Golly. I was afraid it broke off inside and went down into the combustion chamber. Right in that intake valve. You can see where they tried to drill it. Why would they do that? I mean, it went right through the aluminum block. What in the world is going on here? Well, this is like I say, this is a gift that keeps on giving here. What is that laying there? Who knew? Well, I'll tell you what, let's pull it apart and get this intake manifold off. I want to see. I want to see. So what we'll do is just take all this off. Things that make you go, Well. Pull the carburetor off. Two 3/8 headed screws there. Take this spring back off. We're going to set this fuel tank and everything over there out of the way. Sit that right there. That's fine. You can sit right there. Carburetor screws. Whew. Mercy, mercy. We'll have to take this coil off too, because we've got to have room for that manifold. It'll be too hard to fight it out of there. We're going to try it though without taking that coil off. Let me blow some of this dust and dirt off of it. Pull the O-ring off. I'm sure I've got plenty of these old junk engines out there in the shed of shame. Don't forget that. We'll rob the intake manifold off one of them. Let's see. Take these two screws out. One. They're still tight, which is good. These things usually get loosened. Yeah, we'll have to pull this coil out of the way because we're not going to be able to get it out of there without doing that. Okay. Oh, that thing's tight. Well, grab the ratchet. And a 1/4 inch socket. Out of the way, get this unplugged, little kill wire, get that out of the way. See, when you let go of that bell handle, this will throw and it'll make contact. It kills, grounds the coil and kills the engine. I'm afraid we might have to take that. Nope, we're not. We got it. Well, it didn't go through. That's good. I was afraid I might see that screw sticking through. But you can see right there where that screw went into it. What in the world is going on? Yeah, you can see it. The tip of that screw is inside this plastic, which it didn't hurt. It didn't go through, so that's good. That gasket still looks pretty good. We'll just clean it off and put it back on. Got this little rag. Make sure nothing falls down in there. All right, nice and clean. Okay. I'm going to screws for that. Light them down somewhere. Well, that's a beautiful black Silverado just pulled in the driveway. Let me hit pause a second. Got a customer. All right. Well, look at that beautiful, beautiful truck. He's got a lot of money. All right. Board's broke. I'm having to pay for that truck. All right, let's get this thing back together. See what we can do. So what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Don't break these screws off in there or get it too tight, because you will. It's very small, fine thread, and you're going to aluminum. Aluminum. All right, let's get the coil put back on there. Put your wire back on there. Come over here and grab yourself a business card. Grab your business card. Just a business card. Get the magnet out of the way. And don't use an impact on these. See how small and fine thread that is? You hurt this, break them little ears off, man. You're buying a brand new lawnmower. Run it down. Don't get it tight. You can see where the screws were, but you can't really go by that. Where's that magnet? Slide that in there. And you can feel that magnet suck it up. just a little snug. Just a little snug. Get your business card. I have forgotten to let that in there before. So much for your business card. All right, we'll just give it a turn very gently. Nothing's hitting anywhere. Okay. Now we put the carburetor and everything back on. Didn't really have to take all this off with this carburetor. That one started, run it down. This one started, run it down. These are pretty easy to cross thread. A little bit. Easy, easy. Okay. Okay. Well, I just accidentally hit stop. Don't stop. Tighten this down. Be very gentle with that because you'll break this ear off. Ask me how I know. All right, grab your 5/16 socket. Let's get this air filter base back on there. Make doubly sure you always hook the crankcase vent tube back on there. Something's weird. Let me go back on there. There it goes. Didn't seem like it wanted to sit flush and seal. Okay. Now we have full choke opening. Okay, everything's good. Intake is tight. Kill wire's hooked up. Coil is gapped. Okay. You know what I did? Forgot to put that O-ring back on there. Let me hit pause real quick and I'm gonna take that carburetor back off and put this O-ring back on there. I ain't gonna make you watch me do that. Hang loose. All right. Get the cover put back on. Alright, let's grab the screws. 2 long ones in the front and 2 short ones in the back. November of 2010 is the date code on this one. Here's the date code. 15 years old. This lawnmower's old enough to get its learner's permit, driver's license. Alright. Let's see if I can get these other screws. I usually forget to put this dipstick back on there before I put this fuel tank back on, then I have to take it apart again. It goes on there like that. Get that started by finger. All right. Bring that down a little bit. Take your little spacer, get it back in the fuel tank right there. Go ahead and get your bottom screw started. You can find the hole. I'm not going to tighten that one yet. I just want it to be able to hold. You're going to have to move it around a little bit to find these holes up here. Easy, easy, easy. All right, now we'll tap this one down here. All right. All right. Let's see. I'm not putting anything else back on it yet. I want to get it off the table. Take it back out here and crank it up and see how she runs now. Poor little lawnmower. Being abused. Somebody monkeying with it. It's like Toro said, some people just need to have their tools taken away and thrown in the garbage. Well, let's do something with this self-propelled here. Good Lord. If we have to, they've probably done that because it wasn't pulling good, but all you gotta do is loosen this and pull the cable out a little bit and you'll put tension on the belt. Get it up and around there like that. Stick this back in there like that. That's how it's supposed to be. Now let's see what we got. Get hot so that thing will move forward and open that choke. I've been working too hard. I just realized we're missing another spring. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't even notice that spring was missing. Golly. That little spring right there. Why did I not notice that? See, this lawnmower is just a mower that just keeps on giving. I can get that out of there. Here we go. That little spring right there. Couldn't understand why it wasn't doing right. All right, this little spring goes here. If I can catch that little tab down there. Little tab right there. There we go. And it goes to right. Ooh, almost had it. I'm trying to do this with one hand without bending this little spring. There we go. I did bend it a little bit right there. Okay. How did I not notice that? Working too hard. Working too hard. Really gotta pull the handle back. Hang on. It was right at about 28, and now it's right at about 32, almost 32, so that's fine. So what you do is you just keep putting more distance, just keep letting this out further and further until it vibrates back and forth at the widest point, and then right there it'll tell you what the RPMs are. You just bend that little tab. I don't even know what the part number. I'll post in the description what the part numbers of these two tools is. That was made in Germany. Okay. She seems to be good now. I don't know why in the world I didn't notice that other spring missing. It's all right. All right. Got the groomments worked out of this thing. That's what it was. That's my idea. That's my hypothesis. Was that the spring went missing and it was running like that, so they, for some reason I thought to run a screw through there and try to hold that. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for it. I have no clue. But we got the bugs worked out. We do. Now we got to figure out what's going on with this thing here. This needs to come back around and go under that way. You can see where it used to ride. Well, it's going to be hard to do. You see where it comes out right there? This spring is just sprung. Tell you what we're going to do, we're going to take this off. Should be a 3/8. Just so much easier to take this off and do it on the bench. And then you can take and stick a screwdriver through it and get the screw started back. Ooh, sounds like there's a little thunder going on out there. Let's clear some room on the workbench over here. shelf. All right. All right. What do I do with it? There it is. All right. There should be something that sticks over this and holds it. See, it holds it in on this side, but there should be something on this side. It's a little keeper. So what we're going to do, we'll have to come up with something, some way to keep this from coming back out. What I've done in the past is drilled a hole and put a cotter key through it, cotter pin. Yeah, let's do that. Put a little dot right there. Where my little needle nose pliers go? Somebody stole them. Well, let's do this. Let's go over here to the cotter pin drawer. Cotter pin department. That's the grease fitting compartment. That's the clip department. Ah, cotter pin department. Cotter pin department. I believe that'll work. Perfect length. Close that drawer back. All right. Nice and tight. Find us a good drill bit that's not dull. Let's see, what kind of hole we would need. I believe that drill bit's dull. Stick this in the hole it was in. Yep, that'll be the perfect size right there. Grab you a nice sharp pointy punch. That's a pretty nice sharp pointy punch. Where are you going? Well, back here. I'll hold it just so perfect so I can give it a good punch right there. I believe that's good. Now let's see how dull this drill bit is. Not bad. Ooh, I was going to say, how thick is that thing? All right. Okay, what we're going to have to do, that goes through there like that. We'll have to get this on the other side, because this is going to have to sit in there. Where'd it go? You can see right there where it's shiny, where it was sitting. That's going to be a pain in it right there. But I believe we can get it. I believe. Oh, gotta go the other way. Just gotta go through there like that. Goes through there like that. That pushes down there like that. That squeezes through. Oh, went too far. Pull it back just a little bit. Went a little too far. I hurt my arm on that vise. Now, oh, you gotta do all this in all one big fell swoop. There we go, just tap it right through. All right. All right. I'm going to turn it. I believe we might have us a big old storm brewing out there. I believe. All right, what we'll do is just kind of bend this up and over like that. There, that's not going anywhere. That'll keep it from coming out here. Set this side again. All right. Then what I'd like to do, take a big old screwdriver. If I don't stab my finger, there we go. Just take your screwdriver like that. And we'll come back over here. Try to get these little screws started again. Stick my head in there and try to find it. There's that one. Let's see if we can get this one started. Where's the hole? There it is. Snug. Alright, now let's get this one tight. I lost it. There it is. Snug. Get your screwdriver back and there you go. There you go. All right, let me hit pause. I'm gonna let this camera cool off and charge. Y'all hang with just a second. All right, let's get this thing done. Get it out of here. Get this 16-hour quantum video done. All right, let's pop a new 491-588 air flitter. Get that back on there like that. right. Found us another screw we can use. This one's over here. And this one can go in here. All right. Engine's still a little warm. Let's drain Earl in. Drain some Earl. Hey, look, the lawnmower's gone. I'll put it outside in the carport. I got more room in here now. Yay! Yay! Hey, y'all! Yeah, that is pretty nasty. Nasty. All right, let's go around here and get this blade off. Slap a new blade on there while the Earl's draining. Whew, that's a nasty blade. Boy, that sucker is wore slap out. Golly. It's a brand new blade. And of course that's all broken away. Sit here for an hour and just do that. Don't see the blade gonna hit nothing. Kind of close though. All right. Let's see if the oil's still drained. Looks like it's about done now. It's just trickling. Trickle, trickle. All right, let me grab the oil bucket. Grab the oil jug. We got pert near a quart in that one. Pert near. All right, she's just a dripping. Set this out of the way. Right, let's pour some oil in it. We'll stop it there, let it settle a little bit, and we'll check it. What do we want? By golly, we're near perfect. Let that settle for another second or so. We're just on perfect. If I keep checking, it'll get lower and lower, wouldn't it? All right, boys and girls. I believe we are done. I'm going to dig through the shed out there and see if I can find another cover for a front-wheel drive Toro 22 recycler. Seemed like I had one over here. I always save stuff like that. I got a bunch of these side discharges. I got another one for a Toro. All this is Toro stuff. Now this is the cover that goes on the bottom. I think. Probably missing that one too. If I remember right, let's go around on this side. Let's see, what do we have? What do we have? Yeah, that's the one that goes under the bottom. But this one's got that, so this one don't have one of those. Otherwise it would go like that. You either have this style that holds the belt on the pulley, or you have that actual cradle. Let's go take a field trip. Let's go take a field trip to the shed of shame. Oh, hang on, let me get my coat and hat. All right, gold mine. Cover right there, looks like. See, it'll be just like this one. Pow. No, that's a different model. No, that's the same one. Yeah. Matter of fact, I got two different styles here. What do we have? What do we have? Front wheel drive, 22-inch. It'll be one of these. Let's go see which one fits. And I always save the screws for them too. Oh, I can get out here without twisting my ankle. Yeah. Let's see. This is, oh, this was melted or something. It's melted because of that muffler right there. It'll be all right though. Because this is the kind, this is the one that, yeah, it goes through here and into that. But this is the cover for this one. This style goes with this style. This style goes with the other one. It's got that metal belt guard. They go just like that. Cool. She'll be happy about that. Just gotta go make sure the belt goes through there. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clamp that self-propel handle back so the belt's tight. Make sure it goes through the two little cutouts. Okay. Nice and tight. Just like that. You got a cutout for this cable. Oh, you know what? This ain't the right one. It is going to be that one. That may not even be for a Toro. No, it is 105-1839. That's just a different style. That's like the old style. We'll take these 2 screws from that one. I got a bunch of these screws in that little thing over there. I'll save them. Let's see what we have. Because I can see by the silhouette. Contour. Just like that. Perfect. Grab my 38 second. Extension. I'll get my big finger in there. I'll get that socket on it. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. I got to creep it. There it goes. There. And be careful because you're going into plastic. I'm gonna leave it loose so we can move it around a little bit. I gotta find, well, there's no holes in here, so that's gonna be the only 2 that holds it. There we go. All right. All right. There we go. Brought another one back from the brink. Chased out all this little gremlins. All right, let's see, we got this fixed. Got a new cover put on it. Fixed all that craziness going on in there. Air filter, changed oil. New blade. We did it. Yay! All right, boys and girls, thanks for watching another Tang video. Saved another 22 recycler. Made a little Geetus. Y'all be good. By golly, eat your vegetables and take your vitamins. Holler if you need me. Know I love you. Say something nice about somebody today. Do something mean to a stranger. I mean, nice to a stranger. And by golly, I love y'all. We'll catch y'all on the next one.